Welcome to Love and Life, your safe space for authentic conversations about relationships and personal growth. I'm KC, and I'm thrilled you're here with me on this journey of discovery. You'll find free resources and insights I've created on the Love and Life website. Now let's dive into today's topic. You know, every time I sit down to record this podcast, I'm reminded of how relationships touch every part of our lives. Think about it. From that first morning coffee with your partner, to catching up with an old friend, to working with your colleagues, these connections shape who we are. I've been thinking a lot lately about my own relationships, and I bet you have too. Some fill us with joy and energy, while others, well, they can leave us feeling pretty drained, right? I used to wonder, what makes the difference? Why do some relationships grow stronger over time while others fade away? Maybe you've asked yourself these questions too. After years of personal experience, countless conversations with listeners like you, and deep reflection, I've discovered something interesting. The relationships that last, the ones that really mean something, they all share certain qualities. These aren't surface-level things like having the same interests or hanging out all the time. No, these are deeper elements that form the real foundation of meaningful connections. Today, I want to share with you 3 pillars that I've found absolutely essential for building and maintaining lasting relationships. I think you'll find these resonate with your own experiences too. Let me share what I've discovered. When I think about what makes relationships truly last, 3 essential pillars always come to mind: trust, respect, and dialogue. These aren't just fancy words. They're the real building blocks of every meaningful connection I've experienced. And I bet you felt their importance too. Let me start with trust. I remember when I first realized how crucial trust is. It was like discovering the foundation of a house I'd been living in all along. Trust is that warm feeling you get when you know, deep in your heart, that someone has your back. It's being able to breathe easy, knowing you can count on each other through thick and thin. But here's the thing. I've seen what happens when trust breaks down, both in my life and in the lives of people I've known. It's like the ground suddenly becomes shaky beneath your feet. I've watched workplace teams fall apart when people start hiding information and pointing fingers. I've seen loving couples transform into strangers, each simple conversation becoming a minefield of suspicion. I've had my own trust broken before, and I know many of you have too. That raw, vulnerable feeling, the way your stomach drops when you realize someone you trusted has let you down, yeah, it's not easy to bounce back from that. But here's what I've learned. Rebuilding trust, while challenging, is possible with the right approach and mindset. So how do we build and maintain trust? I'll share what's worked in my own relationships. It starts with radical honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. Being truthful about our feelings, our fears, our mistakes. It's showing up consistently, following through on our promises, even the small ones, and being there when it matters. Think of trust like tending to a garden. It needs daily attention, patience, and care to flourish. You know what's beautiful about trust? When you invest in it, through small acts of reliability, open communication, and vulnerability, the returns are incredible. I've seen it transform relationships from surface-level connections into deep, meaningful bonds where people feel truly safe to be themselves. I love watching what happens when trust takes root in a relationship. It's like watching spring arrive after a long winter. The whole dynamic shifts, conversations flow more easily, laughter comes more freely, and even disagreements feel less threatening because there's this underlying certainty that you're both on the same team. I've experienced this in my own relationships, and let me tell you, there's nothing quite like the feeling of being able to be completely yourself with someone, knowing they'll accept you exactly as you are. I've seen trust shape every kind of relationship in my life, from my closest family bonds to casual interactions with strangers. You know what I've learned? When we choose to lead with trust, something magical happens. People open up, They share more honestly, they're more willing to support each other. I've experienced this transformation in my own relationships, and I bet you have too. Every time we choose trust over fear or suspicion, we're not just improving our own connections, we're contributing to a more compassionate world where everyone feels safe to be themselves. You know what pairs beautifully with trust? Respect. I've come to realize that while trust forms the foundation of our relationships, respect is truly the heart of love. Let me share what I mean by that. Respect isn't just about being polite or agreeing with everything someone says. It goes much deeper. It's about truly seeing someone for who they are and honoring their unique qualities, their dreams, and yes, even their quirks. I've learned that respect shows up in so many little ways, in how we listen without jumping to judgments, how we value different perspectives, even when they challenge our own, and how we treat each other with genuine kindness and consideration. It's fascinating to me how respect can transform a relationship. When we approach each other with empathy and understanding, acknowledging that we're all individuals with our own thoughts, feelings, and experiences, something magical happens. The connection deepens, and there's this beautiful space where both people feel seen and valued. You know what's really interesting about respect in relationships? It's actually about maintaining our independence while growing together. One of the biggest lessons I've learned, and I see this all the time in my work, is how easy it is to confuse love with dependency. When we rely completely on someone else for our happiness, we risk losing ourselves. True love is actually about two whole, independent people choosing to support each other's growth. Let me paint you a picture of what this looks like in real life. Imagine a relationship where both people are genuinely excited about their own passions, cheering each other on and celebrating victories together. It's beautiful to watch. There's this wonderful feeling of mutual admiration. Not the kind where you put each other on pedestals, but where you see each other clearly, imperfections and all, and love even more deeply because of it. When you recognize your partner's unique strengths and celebrate their efforts, something magical happens. You inspire each other to grow, creating this amazing cycle of mutual support and personal development. Now let's talk about the third pillar that brings it all together: dialogue. If trust is our foundation and respect is our heart, then dialogue is the bridge that connects everything. Think of it like a flowing river, carrying all our thoughts, feelings, and experiences between us. When that river flows freely, our connection stays vibrant and alive. But if we dam it up, by holding back our truths or avoiding tough conversations, everything becomes stagnant. Real dialogue isn't just about talking, it's about creating this safe space where we can be completely ourselves, sharing our deepest fears and dreams without worrying about judgment. I know firsthand that dialogue isn't always easy. We all face times when we disagree or when old hurts come up. These conversations can be really challenging, but they're absolutely essential for keeping our relationships healthy. The key is approaching these moments with openness and remembering we're on the same team, even when we see things differently. I always tell myself in difficult times, don't sweep problems under the rug, face them head-on, together. It's amazing how much stronger your bond can become when you work through challenges as a team. Here's something I found absolutely crucial in my own relationships: active listening. It means truly being present, setting aside our own thoughts for a moment, and really trying to understand the other person. When you reflect back what you've heard, ask thoughtful questions, and acknowledge feelings, it creates this beautiful sense of connection. Trust me, when people feel truly heard, it transforms relationships in ways you wouldn't believe. Trust, respect, and dialogue are woven together, forming a tapestry of connection that enriches our lives. When we nurture these pillars, we create a foundation for love, growth, and lasting fulfillment. Just like a beautiful garden requires constant care and attention, so too do our relationships. They need to be nurtured, tended to, and protected from the elements that can erode their strength and vitality. Neglect, even for a short time, can have a detrimental impact, allowing weeds of doubt, resentment, or indifference to take root. Make a conscious effort to invest in your relationships. Set aside dedicated time for the people who matter most. Engage in meaningful conversations, listen with your full attention, and express your love and appreciation freely. Small gestures of kindness, words of affirmation, and acts of service, however small they may seem, can make a world of difference. Remember, relationships are not static entities. They are dynamic, ever-evolving aspects of our lives that require ongoing effort and commitment. What I find truly remarkable about trust, respect, and dialogue, their impact reaches so much further than just our personal relationships. I see it every day. When we nurture trust, respect, and dialogue in our lives, we create this beautiful ripple effect that touches everyone around us. Think about it. Our children are watching us, learning from every interaction they witness. When they see us practicing open communication, showing respect, and building trust, they're more likely to carry these values into their own relationships. It's like we're planting seeds for a more compassionate and connected future. I've noticed something remarkable in my own life and through conversations with listeners. When we're surrounded by healthy relationships built on these pillars, we become stronger versions of ourselves. We handle life's challenges better, find it easier to forgive, and naturally want to help others. It's like having a strong support system gives us the courage to face whatever comes our way. Let me be real with you for a moment. This journey isn't always smooth sailing. There will be days when maintaining these pillars feels challenging, when misunderstandings pop up, or when old wounds resurface. But here's what I want you to remember. You're not alone in this. We all face these moments. What matters is how we approach them, with compassion, understanding, and a willingness to keep our hearts and minds open. When we choose understanding over judgment, forgiveness over grudges, and keep that dialogue flowing even when it's tough, something magical happens. We discover that these challenges actually strengthen our bonds, adding new layers of depth to our connections. It's in these moments that we truly understand the beauty of authentic relationships. Thank you for joining me on this deep exploration of the 3 pillars of lasting relationships. I hope these reflections have given you valuable insights for nurturing your own connections. If you found value in today's discussion, please share this podcast with others who might benefit from these insights. Your share could help more people discover the power of trust, respect, and open dialogue in building lasting bonds. Until we meet again, remember to tend to these 3 pillars in your relationships like you would a precious garden. Keep building trust, showing respect, and maintaining open dialogue. Every relationship in your life, whether with family, friends, or partners, deserves this kind of intentional care and nurturing. Sending you all my love and warmth.